This is just a trigger warning. This video is going to talk about dysphoria and penis, cock, and other anatomical terms that might make you feel uncomfortable, especially if you're not feeling good lately. So turn it off now if that kind of talk makes you uncomfortable. Hi. Hope everyone out there in YouTube land as well. And you had a great Thanksgiving if you're in the US and celebrate it. I had a pretty good Thanksgiving. Holidays make me anxious, not only because of the trans thing, even though most of my family's cool with it, it's still kind of weird with a few family members, but I just get social anxiety. So my Thanksgiving was good, the food was good, it was at my aunt's house, but I got kind of overwhelmed after dinner and didn't stick around for dessert, just skated home. But lately, I've really been in a funk. I've talked about wanting to keep up with more videos and be active, and I haven't put a video on in 4 weeks. It's because I've been depressed, honestly. I've talked about feeling the pressure to make really good, high-quality videos with good information and, kind of well-structured. Therefore, my perfectionistic nature kind of inhibits me from actually putting things out there. So, I say that, and then I go through a funk like this, and it's like I don't put anything out there. When I'm feeling this low and stuff, I don't feel like there's much to impart to you, and I don't feel good, and I don't want to be on camera. I used to vlog all the time, and I've taken down a lot of videos, but, I just look back, and I just look so sickly or upset or depressed, and it's hard to look back at. It's very therapeutic to be able to get it out, but now I just don't necessarily feel comfortable putting that out there, and especially when it's really in that moment, because I also think it's upsetting to see, it's triggering, and someone that kind of people maybe look up to or see as like, okay, you're farther down the line, you're supposed to be happy, you transition, you become happy. I think it's a disappointment for them, and I almost feel like a failure of some sorts. I've also watched some videos from other guys who have kind of a larger following, and they talk about the reluctance to make videos because there's this pressure, this responsibility to always show the good face and the happy side and that you're not hurting. But honestly, I've been hurting lately. The depression is stemming from lower dysphoria. While it's not like what it was, it has been incapacitating, and I've done a lot of kind of research into things like, well, from taking my own polls with, well, I was going to say female friends, but friends that sleep with, friends that like cock. I was going to say friends that sleep with men, but yeah, so gay guys too. And kind of processing, analyzing that in my head and coming to certain conclusions. Even looking up kind of more psychology articles of like men with small penises, men that are born that way, born male, so not trans, and a lot of the things the guys say, like feeling kind of socially isolated, afraid to date. A lot of these guys are in their late 20s and never had sex, and it's really incapacitating and just, it's like social hell for them. And I really feel for a lot of these guys because I almost feel like their dysphoria is worse. And my heart really went out to them. I mean, we live in such a big cock culture, and what I mean by that is there's so much emphasis put on the penis, but not only just on the penis, but to have a large phallus, and that's the symbol of a man, and a man is his penis, and a penis does not make a man. A lot of trans men prove that, and a lot of trans men don't feel they need lower surgery, and I was always on that course to get lower surgery, but I've come to feel like, well, I don't want lower surgery, I want a penis. Any surgery I get is not going to give me a fully functioning, or naturally functioning, whatever you want to say, penis I would have been born with, and I've come to terms with that. I mean, it's totally like this fucking, but not all guys' dicks are what they want it to be. Like, I think most guys are self-conscious about their penises, whether they're huge or small. And I say that just because I've been talking to a lot of women lately that have had all kinds of sexual encounters with all different sizes of peni, and they were saying, like, they've had sex with guys that are, like, massive. You'd think you'd have nothing to be embarrassed or ashamed or feel self-conscious about, but even they feel self-conscious. So that makes me feel better. I think we're all self-conscious about our genitals on some level, and I always feel like, oh God, what is the woman going to say when I disclose to her what I've got going on downstairs? I've come to find out a lot of women don't care about size. Some do, and that's no problem. It's sexual preference, but a lot of women are just so different emotionally than men that a lot of women need an emotional connection, and they like oral sex, which is my specialty. It also just really gets to me that, like, I don't like using prosthetics. I like fucking with my own dick because I was lucky enough to have growth where I can penetrate, and I've read things that say the first 2 inches of the vagina are the most sensitive, so great. Women that I've had sex with say even though it's small, they prefer that to a prosthetic, like a big 6-7 inch prosthetic, because they can feel me, they feel it get harder and react to them, and not every guy is 7 inches. There's some bio guys out there with 2, 3, 4 inch penises, and they probably feel the same way. And back to the big cock culture thing, it sucks how much emphasis we put on big penises, because it does so much damage to men, to boys, trans men, non-trans men. Men are taught that they are their penis, they are their size. A small penis, you might as well just cut it off and be a woman. I mean, I'm exaggerating, but what I'm saying is we just put so much emphasis on the phallus. And even talking to one of my best gay male friends in San Francisco who's not trans, I mean, he's a pretty good-sized dude, like close to 8 inches, and he was saying, you know, he's had men be like, you know, I don't fuck anything under 8 inches, and it's like, how can you rule someone out based on the size of their cock? That just, it does so much damage. And it sucks that as trans guys we obviously struggle with this dysphoria, or not. Like, sometimes you want the cock, you want the penis, you want to be able to pee standing up and have sex, and some people don't have that, and that's great. Obviously this video is not about that, because this is about my experience with dysphoria, but this big cock culture does so much damage to non-trans men as well. Just reading these posts, this guy was maybe in his mid-20s, and he's born male but had a very small penis, and he said he's never had sex, he's afraid to use public restrooms, he dropped out of college, and my heart went out to him, because it's almost more inhibiting for him in his life than it is for me being a trans man. Like I've said, you're not your cock, and it doesn't take a penis to be a man. Clearly, look at all the trans men in the world, or men that have lost their penises in accidents. Just because your penis is unfortunately lost or harmed in an accident does not suddenly render you not male or a woman or something. It's just really hard, and I think a lot of dysphoria stems from society. Like, if society was like, sure, you can be a dude with a vagina even, it doesn't matter, like, you got a 2-inch cock, you got an 8-inch cock, it's just a cock. Society is not that way, and I think a lot of our dysphoria comes from the way society is. I saw some kind of TV show, talk show, with a gender therapist, and she called being transgender the other people's disorder, because it's everyone else that has a problem with us. It's not us. We're not wrong. We're not wrong for feeling how we do. It's society that's telling us we're wrong. Why can't you be a woman with a penis, or a man with breasts and a vagina? If you feel yourself to be male, that's fine. Gender is here between your ears and not your legs. This video is not really meant to really give advice or offer any conclusions. It's more of just kind of talking my way through it, because I haven't felt good in weeks. Sometimes it's like I can't even get out of bed, and then I realize, dude, you can't let this hold you back. Even if you were born male and had a small dick, you would have to find a way to get over it and to not let it ruin your life. I have to just come to a place of gratitude and be thankful for what I do have. I'm able-bodied, I can go skating when I want, I have a lot of other good qualities about me. That's the thing, like, you can't just be your penis, you have to be other things. Really, if someone just likes you for your cock, then it's not really going to last, and that's not really a foundation to build a relationship on. Basically, I just want to share that I've been feeling bad, and that even 8 years into transition, it can still be really hard, and the feelings are hard, but you have to just affirm yourself and talk to people who get you. Like, really, I made this video tonight. I feel like I'm in a place where I'm able to make it, because I had a wonderful hour-and-a-half conversation with a female friend who's very sex-positive and trans-aware and trans-positive, and it just cleared my mind. This is the clearest I felt in 3 or 4 weeks. My 8 years on T came and went on November 30th, and I didn't even take a photo. I didn't even say anything on Facebook, or I was going to make a video. I just was feeling so just like blah that I didn't do anything. Actually, 7 years ago today, I flew to Baltimore to have my chest surgery, and so my 7-year chest anniversary is in 2 days, and that's crazy to believe just how far I've come and how comfortable I am. Like, when I first got my chest surgery, I felt like I was experiencing the world for the first time, and wasn't so used to being read as a male or a straight male all the time, and the expectations that came with that, and suddenly I'm able to use like a men's locker room and change in there, and just this whole new world opened up to me, and now that world is mostly familiar. Like, there's still some situations I haven't been in, like a gay bathhouse, but for the most part, I'm not experiencing things the first time as a male, and it's just kind of like I'm settled into me. But that one thing really bothers me, and it's like, even though the penis does not make the man, it is quite a vital, integral part of many male identities. Whether that's correct or healthy or not, it's just the way it is. It definitely is not healthy to be so centered around your cock that that's all your identity is. No one likes a big dick. Well, you know what I mean. You just, I don't know, at least for me, I have to focus on the other things. Like, okay, I'm a good listener. That's a big part of a relationship. I like to play the piano and write, and I'm a good communicator, I hope. These are all important things in relationships and sex, more so than a dick. And really, a lot of it is about your self-talk. If you're like, man, I've got the smallest dick in the world, I'm worth nothing, no woman would ever want to fuck me, or no man would ever want to fuck me, it's true. No one ever is going to want to fuck you. But if you're confident, that's all that matters. Men and women alike say that confidence is either the number one or one of the most sexiest thing you find attractive in another person. If you've got a 3-inch cock, but you rock it, I mean, you will give your partner a better time than if you've got a 10-inch dick and just sticking it out of the hole. I've heard from women, because, you know, I sleep with women, even though I'm totally fluid and would date a man, I've just never been all that sexual with men. Guys with big dicks, two things about them. They either are really good in bed and fine because they have the confidence of having the big dick, or two, they're not that good in bed because they think sex is just putting a dick in a hole. There's so much more to it. There's so many more things to be skilled at, like with your tongue and hands. Just because you have a big dick doesn't necessarily mean you're good at sex. This friend that I had the conversation with tonight, she said she read a study where men with smaller penises are actually found to be more satisfying to their partners because they probably work harder and use different things to get them off instead of just putting their dick in a hole. This is kind of all over the place. I'm just kind of rambling, but I just wanted to say it's been hard, and this is the best I've felt in weeks, and thank you to that friend. And also, it's a hard time of year, you know, with the holidays, so I just kind of wanted to check in, see how everyone's doing. Like I said, I did hit my 8 years on T on November 30th, and in 2 days it will be 7 years post-op. It's crazy to think my chest surgery was 7 years ago. But this was all over the place, but I just wanted to get out. It's still hard sometimes. It's not as terrible. It's just hard in a different way, but you can get through it. You can persevere, and if you don't have lower dysphoria, all the more power to you, because that is awesome. I don't know why it affects people differently. Out of all my friends, I have friends all over the scale where some can't even look at themselves when they're bathing. Others can use what they were born with just fine for sex. And I'm not judging anyone, and that is fine. Like, however you feel about your body, we are all different. You could be watching this and being like, I like what I got. And I don't necessarily dislike what I have, especially in terms of my cock. It's sensitive, it's nice, it grew a lot. It gets me off. I'm lucky I have erogenous tissue, but it's not what I want. But then I realize most people have things about their bodies, or their genitals especially, that are not what they want. So, I apologize for this being all over the place. I hope this holiday season is going well for everyone out there. If you're feeling that trans angst, keep fighting the fight. I mean, literally, some days it's hard to get out of bed and do whatever, but go for a walk, call a friend, talk to someone, vlog it out. I've been trying to write more. Yeah, this is all over the place. Before I go on 80 more tangents, I got new glasses. Hopefully I look like Ed Murrow or Walter Cronkite when he broadcasted JFK's assassination. But, I kind of wanted some advice to what to do with my hair. I'm getting sick of it. I obviously am mourning my long hair. If you're on my Facebook, you see all the long hair pictures I've been posting lately. But since I'm terrible with hair and always give myself terrible haircuts, I just was looking for some suggestions, since I figure all of you out there probably know more about hair than I do. I was thinking about maybe shaving down the sides and keeping some on the top. I don't know. But I don't want to shave the whole thing because weirdly I did that and some actually grew back. So I kind of hesitant to shave it all off right now. And I want a little hair for the winter, even though it's like in the 80s here in Florida. So let me know. Hope you all are well. Take care.